Middle-class suburb or close to Kyiv, comfortable life, normal city. So we are driving from Bucha City Council to the place where we had mass grave, and I could explain why we had this mass grave. Because Bucha was totally occupied on the 3rd of March. Just across the road we have the hospital, and on the territory of the hospital there is morgue, and the bodies were brought to morgue. They had lots of bodies there at the first days of the occupation, and Russians didn't allow to go to the cemetery. That's why the workers from the morgue and from municipal ritual service, they did exactly what we are doing now. They drive straight to the church, and they get the permission from the priest of this church to bury temporary people on the territory of the church just behind the building. That's why the mass grave here in the center of Bucha, near St. Andrew Cathedral. On the territory of the church we plan to do a future memorial, because 116 bodies were exhumed from the mass grave. There were 2 trenches full of bodies of people mostly killed during the period of Russian occupation. And that's not all amount of people we collected from the streets, because in total we have 426 bodies at the moment collected after the liberation of Bucha. And that's the reason of Bucha's tragedy worldwide known, because Russians were shooting civilians just for fun, just to create this horror for the people not to move, to control Bucha. And that's why we suffered a lot. And now we are slightly recovering from that period of time, because lots of people remember how the bodies were lying all around the city, how kids and parents were staying shot or burnt inside the cars while trying to evacuate. And if you look at the right and at the left, you will see normal city with flowers as usual, with lots of cars. But when I came back here after being evacuated on the 12th of April, it was like empty city. No cars, no people, no shops, no electricity, no proper mobile connections. So I think that really people who worked here, the municipal workers, those who came back, people who came here to help us, they are really do incredible job, because to bring life back really in like empty city, it's very hard job. It's not only the rubbish, it's also the civilian cars. Most of them are civilians. Very few military, Russian military tanks left, because we moved them to Vodoprovodna. And there's cemeteries of shooting cars. There are on the right cars you see on the right, that were cars with dead bodies. We will see Yabolnska street. That's the street where most of the bodies were lying. That's the street of horror. Russians were trying to capture Kyiv, capital of Ukraine, and they failed. And Yabolnska street, it's just parallel to the Bucha river. So Russians needed to cross the Bucha river to enter Irpin, to go through Irpin and to cross the Irpin river. And those 2 rivers, they were like natural barriers for Russian troops they failed to cross both rivers. They were so angry, that's why they were killing civilians, just because they failed to do military task they had. So now you are on Yabolnska street. Lots of people were lying on the right, on the left, inside the yards, and you see that people fixed the fences, but in fact Russians parked their tanks inside in the private houses. That's why for Ukrainian armed forces it was not possible to attack them, because people were living in the basement and Russians were living in the yard. Bullets spots. That was the most horrible place in Bucha. we need to repair till the winter time. Burned and the roof is destroyed. The main plan at the moment is to fix damages as possible till the cold period of time, because people are expecting from the local government that we will fix everything as it was before the 24th of February. It's difficult. Irpin is very destroyed. It's 5 times more destroyed than Bucha, because Irpin was some kind of battlefield on the way of Russians to Kyiv. We think that Bucha's duty is deal with destroyment as quick as possible, and maybe it will help people to move and to live in normal. You see, even use the water there, and all the fences destroyed. You see, yeah, it's water in the grass. Yeah. So because people want to live like they did before, you know, they don't accept like the new reality, and they don't want to be like. So Russians attacked from this way. There was a Novus. This is Bucha's supermarket. It's destroyed, and that was Giraffe, and it's destroyed completely. There was the favorite place of my son to go. That was our favorite food market and the kids' room on the second floor. And you will see lots of private houses without roofs, without anything. And now we are driving to the university. We had university in Irpin. Up to 12,000 students were studying there in the best years, and up to six in this COVID time. And you will see that like main building is without anything inside and outside. This street was like on the border. Russians controlled 1/3 of the city. It's that part is ahead, straight there, and this street was some kind of the street of the operation, street fights. And this is one of the buildings belongs to the university. Some kind of flats and for the teachers. So this is one of the main streets in Irpin. And Universitetska Street, it was borderline between Ukrainian army on the left and Russians on the right. Territory on the right was occupied. This is university building. Here inside the university, a bit further, was a kind of humanitarian center and also like a shelter. We go just like 500 meters and you will see on the right the central building of the university. It's completely destroyed. I'm not sure that it's possible to reconstruct it like it was. They drive here by tanks. They were tanks, Russian tanks was on this Sadova Street, on Universitetska Street. They were sitting, shooting people. That was body line between occupied territory and non-occupied. It was dangerous to go further, and people who were trying to evacuate, they walk to here and go straight to Kyiv. All this way they were walking to escape from Russian occupation. And this is like a battlefield as well, and you see the results. My son is commenting how many of dead houses we have at the moment. Understands everything quite well. He's shocking. He wished Putin to be dead. So he knows everything. This street lost like more than 10 houses. And this is our daily street, because from 2 years almost every day he was going to his kindergarten. He remembers this city very beautiful. He likes new built houses, so for him it's a big shock. These houses also were new built, and this house is just across his school. So this is Vodoprovodna street. It's like Yabolnska on the back, and Vodoprovodna, it's parallel to Vokzalna street, where we had the big battle. If you remember the photos of street full of Russian destroyed tanks, and you see people are riding bicycle as before. It's one of the most popular transport here in Bucha. During the summertime, but that was dangerous to do during the occupation because Russians shot people on the bicycles. Straight there, this is the school number 3. Russians had position there and it was completely destroyed. They shot computers, they destroyed windows, they destroyed the roof, they destroyed lots of stuff inside, and now we are repairing. We want to prepare this school and be completely ready till the 1st of September. We would like to do offline study. This is the territory of the school, and this is temporary houses we built thanks to cooperation of Ukrainian and Polish government. This is a new building of the school because it consists of 2 buildings, and this is temporary houses. People who lost their flats or houses, or those who moved to Bucha from eastern Ukraine and from south Ukraine, because we have families like that as well. They could live here like temporary during the period they need temporary place for living. And you see grass is cut, flags are there. They ask for the internet because there are lots of teachers living here and lots of kids who want, and we did internet for this place, put Starlink. New playground for kids, and the life is continuing and is going on here thanks to such temporary decision. And we see the kids are riding the bicycle, and that's in the uniform. Uniform is also very popular now. And now we are preparing for doing a proper shelter in the basement, because it's not allowed to open the school without shelters. We have quite good basement here. We are preparing to do comfortable shelters for pupils and for those who live around. That's how Bucha is living now. This is Vokzalna street, and that's exactly the place of the battle. Can you recognize it? We were cleaning the houses. My colleague, Deputy Mayor, who is responsible for this, and the Mayor himself, and lots of staff were helping people to remove destroyed houses. This one is preparing to be reconstructed. Just ahead, that was the most dangerous cross point. More than 20 bodies were dead around it. So lots of people killed on this crossing, Vokzalna and Yabolnska. And we are turning left. You might remember from photos that that man was lying there, here, straight there. Near those townhouses, there were that 3 bodies with tied arms on the back and shot from the back, straight there. If you didn't see the photos, you can't recognize the place. So it's clean Bucha as it was before. But that was the most dangerous part of Yabolnska street. So, and now we are driving to the block of flats, Continent, that's new built complex which was completely robbed. Russians went from flat to flat and took computers, all new furniture, new equipment from the kitchen, from all the rooms, and put them into big lorries and drive to Belarus and then to Russia, just to use for their own needs. We talked to the owners of the company who built this complex, and they told that only 10% of the people came back. That's very low percentage, because we count that in Bucha itself we have like 40% back, and in this complex only 10% back, because it's robbed and it's very difficult to live in the building like this without windows, without doors. It was completely destroyed. Now these young kids, they want to sell us something and to fundraise money for Ukrainian army. That's new tradition. These boys want to be on video for sure. They are very popular now. Everybody knows that. This supermarket also is not operated because it was robbed. This electricity station was completely destroyed and the company is rebuilding it. And you could still see burnt cars and destroyed cars on this car parking place. And all this complex is completely robbed and destroyed. And it was very nice, very new, like built just 2 years ago with lots of new stuff inside, which disappeared during the period of occupation. So it's like this. And you could see like burnt car and at the same time fixed supermarket just behind it. Businesses are trying to reopen again, and people who are trying to manage somehow the damage. And look, robbed house and just across Lego school, one of the most popular among the people with kids. Lego school, it's operating. My son is going. That would be our third lesson. And now a favorite cafe also reopened. You see the dog and the kid nearby, and really that's very, very simple but very inspiring picture for me and for people like me who remember empty Bucha